it was one of those really important tests. And I went to the testing center. We studied for 3 weeks to prepare for this test. And I was nervous as could be. And I went in the testing center, and this was back, you gave them your card, and then you get the Scantron and the test, and you go and sit down for 2 hours, and you take the test. And I was sweating bullets, just, man, it was the stinking hardest test. And I went back, gave him the Scantron, gave the person at that desk the Scantron, and immediately I got my score, and it was a D. And my mind immediately, this is exactly what happened. This is what my mind did. Oh no, oh geez, oh no, oh geez, oh no, what am I going to do? What's going to come of me? That's stupid. Why didn't I study more? I was back and forth. You know how your mind does. Why didn't I practice more? Why didn't I study more? If only I would have done that. If that lady wouldn't have done, why is she such a bad teacher? All these things. What's going to become of me? I can't be in this major anymore. All of these thoughts are just flooding my mind. As I'm walking, and it was October. It was a little bit later than this in the year. And it was on BYU campus. And I remember this so clearly. As this was going on in my mind, I was walking back to my car from the testing center, and you think parking problems are bad here. Holy cow. It's like times 10 at BYU. You have to park 6 miles away just to get on campus. At least you did back then. It was horrible. So I had a long walk back to my car. So I'm walking back to my car. I remember exactly where this was. And it was, it was early October, and the sun was setting. And as I'm having this, and I feel as I'm doing this, going here and here and here and here and here, and the uh-oh was just screaming in my head. And I felt myself getting more and more anxious, more and more tense, more and more, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And my brain felt like it just wanted to explode. And somehow, and I don't know how this happened, but some part of me, some little voice went, stop. And I went, shut up. You know how you have conversations with some part of you smarter than all the other voices? I have that anyway. And I said, shut up, I'm too mad. And no, this voice said, stop. And I went, what do you mean, stop? And the voice said, just sit down. And I thought, I'm so ticked off. All I can think about is, what am I going to do? I can't survive this major, and what's going to become of me? All these kinds of thoughts. And I don't know where this voice came from. It said, sit down. And there was a bench there. And I sat down, and the voice said, just watch. And it was the coolest thing. The sun was setting over Utah Lake, and all of the trees were just golden brown and orange and reds and yellows, a few greens. And this little voice said, just look, just watch. And I watched as the line of the sunset, the sun went down and the line went up the mountain, and the colors were just exploding off the trees. And then after a little bit, they just started fading as the sun went down. And I stayed there for about a half hour. And this little voice said, that's better, huh? And I went, but I want to be mad. I want to be ticked off. I want to be afraid. I want to be all these thoughts that I'm having right here about, I deserve to be really upset right now. And this voice said, this is better. Watch. And for that half hour, I just soaked it in. I soaked in what I could experience right here and now. And instead of going here and here, here and here, here and here, I put my attention here in what was happening, what I could directly experience, and my stress levels went through the floor. And I went, huh. And this was back long before the word mindfulness had ever hit any magazines or newspapers or anything. It wasn't even a word that people used in their conversations about being here and now. But I went, huh, that is better. And I went back to my car, and things just worked out like they usually do. And yeah, I changed majors a couple more times before I finished a worthless psychology degree. Who's our psychology person? No offense at all. Please don't take offense. I loved psychology, but it didn't get me there's no jobs with a bachelor's degree in psychology. Wonderful degree to study. Anyway, it was on that day where I went, that is different. I'm not used to focusing on what's going on right here and now. And the instant that I did, all of that stress just went, phew. And I said, it was at that point where I said, I got to know what that is. I got to know what's going on. What are the mechanics of this, what just happened? How do I make that moment to moment my reality, as opposed to walking around with so many fears and so much anger always going on? And so since that time, I've been really studying this concept of mindfulness.